This is also important question. Most of the time, this question was asked in many interviews. To understand the answer for this question, first one should know the operation of electromagnetic flow meter. So in electromagnetic flow meter, we'll have a pipe like this. A cylindrical pipe will be like this, and inside the cylindrical pipe, we are having the fluid which is flowing with some velocity, that is nothing but V, average velocity V bar meter per second. Now, just above this pipe, assume that the diameter of this pipe is D. Just above the pipe, we are going to have the north pole like this, and below the pipe, we are going to have the south pole. Now, when we have north pole here and south pole here, then the magnetic flux will travel from north pole to south pole. That means the direction of the magnetic flux is in downward direction, and the velocity of the fluid is like this. That means right side to left side. Clear? Now, intentionally what we do is, we will place two mounted electrodes inside the pipe. That means inside this surface, near to this surface, inside, we are going to have one electrode here, and another electrode will be exactly opposite side. That means, let me name here. So the electrode which we are going to place here, let me say that is one here, that will be pasted here, and opposite side, that means back side of one, we are going to have second electrode here. So if I turn the bottle this side, you will be able to see the second electrode here, and here you will be able to see the first electrode. Now, what happens is, as the liquid is moving inside the magnetic field, and if it is a conductive liquid, then we will going to get the voltage across this 1 and 2 terminals. That means, if you take a copper wire from here, and if you take a copper wire from here, if you connect a voltmeter here, then your voltmeter will indicate some voltage if the fluid is moving with some velocity V. Now we will see how the front view looks like. Front view looks like this. That means if I turn this cylindrical bottle or the pipe like this, then you will be able to see this as a circle. Clear? So now the north pole will be here. North pole will be like this above the pipe, and south pole will be below the pipe. That means from the north pole to south pole, magnetic flux lines will going to travel. That means this looks like this. Now north pole to south pole, this is the way how the magnetic flux will going to travel. Clear? Now the diameter of this pipe, as we discussed earlier, the diameter of the pipe is D. Now inside the magnetic flux, the fluid is traveling like this. Correct? So what is the length of this fluid frame now? The length of this fluid frame, that means the finger here. So the length of from here to here, this is going to be the length if you see from the top view, right? Like this. So this will continuously travel inside the pipe like this. So the length of this finger is nothing but the length of the fluid frame, and that will be equal to diameter of the pipe. So in this case, the voltage generated from the Faraday's laws, it can be given as the output voltage is equals to B into L into average velocity, right? So where L is nothing but the diameter of the pipe here, because as I said, the length of the fluid frame that is flowing inside the pipe is nothing but the diameter of the pipe itself. If you see from the top view, it will look like this finger length is going to be diameter of the pipe. So into velocity of the fluid. So this here, then we can measure the velocity of the fluid here. Now the most frequent question is, why we need to apply the sinusoidal magnetic flux? To understand this, I will explain in the simplest way. Just have the attention. If you look at the front view, these are nothing but the fluid particles, H2 fluid particle. We know very well that the fluid can be easily electrified. That means we can divide the fluid molecules into positive ions and negative ions. Now what happens is, when we have the magnetic flux in the downward direction from north pole to south pole, and the velocity is inside the pipe. Now look at this part. Look at this diagram. So the velocity of the fluid particle is like this, right? And the magnetic flux, that magnetic field direction is in this way, right? So now the force acting because of this magnetic field or the magnetic flux lines on the moving conductor can be given as FB. This is nothing but Lorentz force equation, FB, that is equal to Q into V bar cross V bar. So that means charge into V bar cross into V bar. Now let us say we are having the velocity of the fluid like this, right? So the magnetic flux is in this way, downward direction. So that means velocity can be given as in this way, and if you apply the curl product, that is magnetic field direction is downward direction. Now if you curl your fingers in the downward direction, velocity V cross B, because the magnetic field is in downward direction, then the finger the thumb will going to show inside. That means to the second electrode. That means positive charge carriers. Because if I say this is positive carrier now into V bar cross V bar, it will going to become something like this. That means if the fluid is going in this way, then positive ions in the fluid, they will be forced to the inside the board. That means second electrode. So if you look at the front view, then if you are having, this is, let us assume that this fluid particle is positive charge, right? And this fluid particle is also positive charge. Now this will come and accumulate here. This positive charge, this is positive and this is positive, both will be accumulated here, and finally this electrode will going to become plus. Now similarly, suppose if it is negative, then what will going to happen? If it is negative charge, I should multiply this with the negative. Then a unit vector will going to become this side. That means this side. In the fluid, we are having the negative particle which is flowing like this, right? So if you apply velocity curl with the magnetic field, actual force will be into the board. But as we are going to multiply with the negative charge this time, this vector will be in this side. That means those fluid particles will come and occupy the electrode 1. They will be caught by the electrode 1. So if you look at the side view, suppose let us assume that these are electrons or negative carriers in the fluid, and they will come and occupy here. Clear? So finally this will become negative electrode and this will become positive electrode. Like that, the fluid particles which are flowing in a streamline will going to separate like positive ions and negative ions because of the magnetic field which is going in the downward direction. Now when the fluid particles are separated based on the charge, then we will be able to get some voltage here. Now let us assume like this. Suppose if at all for some flow rate, if V0 is equal to 5 volt, let's consider that this is 5 volt. It's not possible. Usually you won't get 5 volt. In fact, it will be like a millivolts. Let me say millivolt, 5 millivolt voltage. Now this is the DC voltage. What happens is, if you plot the graph for this, let us consider this as a V0 with respect to time, and this is going to be 5 millivolt here. As it is a DC voltage, I can say the frequency of the output voltage is equal to 0 Hz. That means it is a pure DC signal. The problem is, when we get the DC output voltage here, always it will be affected by some noise or the interference signal. Interference signal means it is unwanted signal, but it can be predicted. What happens is, here, because of the external magnetic field, apart from the actual magnetic flux lines, our voltage will be disturbed. As well as, if we use the electromagnetic flow meter for many years, then there will be some problem because of the chemical reactions. So that is the reason why we will always have some voltage across this one, even though we don't do anything. That is called offset. And that offset also will be affected because of the interference. So finally, we will have some output voltage even though if the fluid is not flowing, that is offset. And even if you remove the offset, because of the external magnetic field, which will be considered as interference, the output voltage will going to fluctuate like this. That means this is going to be unwanted signal. So if the time progresses, it is 5 millivolt at some location, and 6 millivolt maybe at some location, and it may be 4 millivolt at some location. Like that, there will be some fluctuation in the output voltage, and this interference will going to always damage the DC voltage. This is the reason why it is very difficult to handle with the low frequency output signals from our sensors. So what we need to do now? We need to get output voltage AC. That means we are forceful to get the output voltage as AC. This is possible because we cannot say velocity should be AC or DC, right? So it is in one direction now, and length we cannot change with respect to time. Now the only option is we need to change the magnetic flux with respect to time. So we need to apply a alternating magnetic flux here. So when we apply alternating magnetic flux, so that means sometimes it will become north pole, and after some time it will become south pole. So that means first quarter if the magnetic flux is sinusoidal like this continuously. So in this case, the magnetic flux, this pole will be when this magnetic flux is applied. In fact, at that situation it will be north pole here, south pole will be here. And in the reverse of magnetic flux, we are going to have south pole here and north pole here. So in that case, magnetic flux lines will continuously change. So if the magnetic flux lines are continuously changing, as I said earlier, if the magnetic flux direction is like this, north to south, then positive ion will be here, negative ion will be here, and V naught will be positive. Suppose if the magnetic flux lines is reversed, we are going to keep north pole now in the second case, and here we are going to change it to south pole. Then the magnetic flux will travel from north pole to south pole. In that case, reverse action will going to take place. That means the positive ions will going to come this side now, and this will become positive, and negative ions will going to come this side. So it will going to become negative now. So if you connect the voltmeter here, now it will going to show the negative voltage. That means now we don't get DC voltage, rather we will be getting AC voltage like this. Like this. Now if you get AC voltage, still your interference will going to affect like this. But interference will going to affect like this. But as the frequency of this output voltage is comparatively high, when we apply AC magnetic flux, interference cannot disturb this AC output voltage. So that means to overcome the problem of interference signal, we generally apply time varying magnetic flux. When we apply time varying magnetic flux, the advantage is we will going to get the AC output voltage which can't be disturbed by the interference signal. This is the advantage of time varying magnetic flux.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and if you want to find more of this kind of questions, connect to my channel. Namaste.